But let's stick with the Western Conference because LA is essentially the capital of the NBA universe right now. And Rob, you have always said, and it is true. Like I said, LeBron James started the player-generated super teams. He didn't start super teams. In fact, he was victimized by organic super teams like the Boston Celtics, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
Right.
Which probably put in his mind, I need to form a super team. My front office can't get it done. Let me go do it myself. And he did. And Miami was good. Won 2 championships in 4 years. I don't think it was an all-time great team.
No. It didn't like mark itself as special.
Right.
Like if they had won 3 in a row,
right.
3 out of those, like that would have been, and they had a chance to do it. That would have made it like
nice team.
Yeah, but it was disappointing.
Really good,
It wound up being disappointing.
2 out of 4, and then Kevin Durant, who to this day I say would not have even thought about going to Golden State had not LeBron gone to Miami.
100%. I believe that, and you could go around the league. There's other guys who once LeBron, because you know what? It's a copycat league, and people follow the leader. I'm telling you, the other one is, I know Pop started it with the resting. He did. Right. But once LeBron started taking nights off, too, other guys were like, now he's the best player in the game. If he thinks it's cool to take a few nights off and not play, other guys started doing it. Steph started doing it. All these guys started doing it to where it became a problem and the commissioner asked him not to. And then
now he's thinking about cutting games.
Do you know what I'm saying? But right. My point is they do follow. And once if LeBron would have never left Cleveland and would have just
just gone somewhere where it wasn't such a stacked team.
Right. Then it would have been totally different. I'm with you. I think Durant would have never left.
And Durant one-upped him. And you said it. LeBron created MySpace. Durant created Facebook. And he went to Golden State, which just wasn't fair. Let's just call it what it was.
Right.
It was already a great team without him.
But it bit LeBron in the butt.
And they they denied LeBron 2 championships. Now, fast forward to today, or, modern time, this year, this month. Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, has become kind of synonymous in free agency with recruiting. He's come out, he's talked openly about it, said to Rachel Nichols months ago, I'm going to be recruiting, was talking to Kawhi during the playoffs, goes out there and recruits Kawhi openly, talked to him many times during this whole situation the past few weeks.
You talked about it before, like not during the playoffs, but you said they were a conversation.
Yep. And then Kawhi Leonard, one of the least guys you'd expect this from of in the entire league because he's so quiet. He goes ahead and he becomes a master recruiter and does it in secret. Does it very differently than LeBron. LeBron was more open. Kawhi was very secretive about it. Now, one thing I'm not going to say at this moment is that it's a MySpace Facebook comparison. Because we have to see if that plays out. Mm-hmm. If the Clippers win this championship, maybe become a great team, win 2 and 3 years or whatever, then you could say that. But it's up for grabs right now. LeBron's got Anthony Davis after all. And so maybe the Lakers go ahead and win the championship. But if the Clippers go ahead and do it, then it could be a similar situation where you say, LeBron got bit in the butt by a taste of his own medicine again.
And that's what it looks like. I mean, and you know, obviously it's got to play out. We got to see what happens. But that's what it looks like has happened to LeBron. Like, he's gone to try to make something happen for himself and take his own career, destiny in his own hands, right? But other people have followed suit and have done it to wind up, like you just said, to like block him and push him away from things that probably he would have had a couple more championships and not as many losses had this not played out the way it has. And now here he comes again to L.A. He's all set, and he recruits Kawhi. It's set up all the way, Chris. Kawhi's from Southern California. Kawhi grew up as a Laker fan. Kawhi doesn't have to take a hometown discount because the Lakers carve out enough money, Chris, to pay him, right? So there's no well, come back home and just take this because we don't have enough for you. No, he's going to get paid in full. And the kicker of all this, he doesn't have to be the main guy, all the pressure, the load management. He could take games off because the team will be strong enough with Anthony Davis and Kyle Kuzma and LeBron. He has everything on a silver platter to make him want to take it, Chris. Everything.
Well, I think it was even too much. That ended up being the case.
But am I right, though? Everything was laid out for him.
Well, it was laid out because at the time, we didn't know the Clippers had another bullet in their gun.
But we knew that they had room for two. We did know he had room.
But they were all gone.
Right.
All the other second stars were gone. I think Kawhi did the great thing, the smart thing, the logical thing. I think going to a big three may have been too much. And so
it would have been different, and this is what I said.
It would have been another Golden State thing.
And it wouldn't be who he is. That was the one part. Remember I kept saying, it's just, if he does go to the Lakers, I would be, and I used the term, I think I said this on Undisputed, I would be disappointed. And Shannon said, why would you be disappointed? I said, because this isn't who I thought he was. I just didn't think he would be a part of a big three. I really didn't. Am I wrong or not? Did you really? I mean, I know.
I think he would have gone to the Lakers if the Clippers didn't get.
See,
that
I'm
second
still
guy.
not convinced of that.
Just because he wanted to be out of Toronto. You saw the story that came out yesterday, I believe, about how reportedly his uncle and Kawhi asked Toronto for just unreasonable things in their meeting. Just exorbitant. Like, we don't know what, they didn't report what it was. I have no idea what it was. But they said stuff that made the Raptors think, oh, he's not staying here. He doesn't want to be here. Like,
right. Like it's
you know how you break up with
right.
somebody, it's not you, it's
me. Right.
You know what I mean? That's what they reported. And I agree. Look, I do agree with you that in Kawhi's mind, and I think rightly so, it would have kind of been settling for the Lakers. Because I was told all along he didn't want to take a back seat. And LeBron was telling him, you're not. I'm gonna
but
be
it's impossible, though.
I don't know if it's impossible, but
LeBron is always going to get
chance. Well, it would have been LeBron's team.
That's what I'm saying.
Doubt, yeah.
That was never going to. As long as LeBron is in this league, I don't care what team he's on, Chris. He's always going to be the top biller.
It would have been LeBron's team, no doubt. Now, would he have taken a back seat on the court? We don't know about that. But as long as LeBron was playing decent basketball, it would have been his team.
About LeBron.
Right. And so I think he made the right move. But the thing that threw me off, and I think threw a lot of people off, is that his desire, his strong desire to play with a second guy. Because let's face it, you and I, we thought he was going to the Clippers regardless, with a second guy or not. And they still would have been really good.
Yeah, I always thought because they did have the two spots, but it just seemed like he was taking so long that all the other players got gobbled up. So that was, and the only reason I thought the Clippers there was something going on, and I'm not saying I knew the Clippers were going to get him, but I knew something was going on because it just seemed like it was such an easy decision. It would be like almost an easy decision to make, and he kept stalling. And that's what he's stalling for, time to give Clippers a chance to make something. It just seemed like he was stalling.
I think it was the big three. It's interesting. Now, what if the Lakers only had Anthony Davis? I think he probably joins the Lakers. Now, the big question is, what if they had LeBron by himself, didn't get Anthony Davis? Would he have gone to the Lakers? That's an interesting question. Because obviously it's just two of you then, but it's still LeBron's team. I like what he did. I like the fact that, this has been great for the NBA.
No, we talked about it, and you agreed that even during a time where everybody thought, most people thought he was going to the Lakers, you thought it would be better for the league if he didn't go, and we both agreed on that because now you have a more balanced league. Nobody knows who's going to win for sure.
Right.
And we haven't had that in 5 years? We're almost just about.
Been a while.
Where we always felt like
And then before that, you even had the Miami juggernaut.
Right.
You know, they went to four straight finals.
And that was where we knew as well. So
the thing is that we have parity to some degree in the NBA, but it's not boring and dull parity. Like, it's not teams that are kind of ho-hum or nondescript. You have some dynamic duos, and I don't mean to be funny like, Batman and Robin, but
I know
you
what
have
you mean,
dynamic duos. Westbrook and Harden, we don't think they're going to win a championship, but that's a dynamic duo.
And it's something
Paul
that you
George
want to watch.
And Kawhi,
yeah,
two top 10 players. LeBron and AD, two top 10 players. Steph and Clay, and then you throw in Draymond on the back end. Like, I mean, we have some dynamic duos together. Even if you want to say Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. It is going to be an exciting season. And then coming off on their tails, just two well put together teams in Denver and Utah. So it is definitely shaping up to be one of the most intriguing NBA seasons that we've had in recent memory. Do you think LeBron got a taste of his own medicine? Did Kawhi one-up LeBron and recruit better than he did?
Yes, he did. Are you kidding?
You know Rob's
he blew him out the water. I loved every minute of it.
Let's go to Eric in Los Angeles. Eric, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hi, guys. I don't think Kawhi made the right decision, and I don't think it was much of a coup. What he did was he put himself into a Laker town, and I'm born and raised in this town.
You're a Laker fan,
and if he was smart,
right?
he should have gone to the...
You're a Laker fan?
What's that?
You're a Laker fan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what he did was he doesn't realize he's going to make himself a villain in his own town. He wanted to come home. He came home to Southern California, but he chose the wrong team. And when he gets here, he's going to realize, just like 50,000 Dodger fans booing Blake Griffin and Chris Paul at Dodger Stadium when their face is shown on camera, he's going to be an instant villain in this town. If he wanted to make a super secret move, what he should have done was not just grab not just grab Paul George, but what he should have done was get Steve Ballmer to go to the Clippers and then move them back to San Diego so he could be closer to his house.
Oh, look at you.
Interesting. All right, let me ask you this.
Eric is angry.
Eric came with force. Let me ask you this, Eric. What if the Clippers win a title or titles?
I'm on board with every other person in this town and other commentators of the last week that's going to be, oh, yeah, it's one blip and we got 16.
Yeah, I'll say this for Eric, and neither one of us, Rob, is from L.A. So this weekend, when I was talking to people from L.A., natives, they kind of were like Eric.
No,
they were like,
it.
They're all Lakers fans, and they were just like, he went to the JV team.
But it's the same thing in Brooklyn. We heard that.
Right.
You know, the Knicks fans are like...
The difference is the Knicks are horrible.
No, I know.
Historically.
Right,
you know
but I'm
what
just saying that. But of late, the Lakers haven't been winning
6
anything.
years.
Right. I'm just saying of late.
Yeah.
Eric, that's
all right,
okay. Pull the panties out of there. You're worked up. He's got them wedged in. What about Josh in Toronto? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Josh?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great.
What's happening?
I just got to say one thing. What an off season.
No question about it. How are you? I mean, you're obviously a Raptors fan.
Yeah,
I mean,
huge.
You can't be hurt. I can't imagine you're mad with Kawhi, but just disappointed.
No, man. I mean, I grew up obviously a Raptors fan, been a Raptors fan since I was a kid, and when Vince left, that was the most heartbreaking thing. So to be here now as champs, it's the best.
Right. I feel you. So what's your point?
My point is what Kawhi did was literally the antithesis of what LeBron did. LeBron put on a show, the decision. It was this big whole thing.
Yep.
And Kawhi just did the opposite. He said, you know what? I'm going to just do me. And he is a quiet alpha. And what a way to take over LeBron. Now, I love LeBron. I'm not a hater. Don't get it confused, but what a way to beat LeBron than just move in his neighborhood and take the crown.
And play in the same building.
The same arena.
Right. It's
the
amazing.
tension in the hallways in there is going to be something else.
Well, look, it's there for the taking for each of them. Now, hopefully LeBron doesn't age right before our eyes and really isn't as competitive.
This is year 17,
right,
so it could.
Yeah.
But there is a battle there for both of them.
Yeah, and I just want to say one last thing, if you will. With Harden and Russ, Harden wanted Russ, which, there might be some flex there with who's going to get the ball and all that stuff because one of them wanted the other. But the West Coast games this year, every game's going to matter. It's going to feel like the NFL.
No, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
I can't wait.
All right, Josh, appreciate it.
GW in Cincinnati. GW, what's happening, man?
What's going on, man? My two favorite guys. Hey, Chris, I think the only thing more secretive than what Kawhi Leonard was able to pull off is what Paul George was able to pull off. I mean, think about it, Chris. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, even your sources and Rob's sources, knew that Paul George was coming to the Clippers.
No,
I mean, there were those people that talked about Kawhi Leonard. But let me say this, Chris. I told this phone screener that I agree with both of you guys, and Rob, that includes you for the first time maybe in a while. But Rob, you called LeBron the net zero or whatever, and
MySpace,
Kevin,
Facebook.
Right. Well, right now, Chris, actually LeBron is Amazon. Because everything that you said, Chris, and I'm going to use your words, you talked about the great duos all around the league. You talked about the resurgence of the league. I also love the fact, even though I'd rather him go to the Lakers, he went to the Clippers. The buzz around the league. All of that is because of LeBron, Chris. Chris, we grew up in the same age. Back in the early rap days, they biting his style.
Well,
he's not biting anybody else's
with
style.
the players moving around and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing it for them, everything.
That's a part of his
legacy.
Grant Hill. I'll give you that. Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady went to Orlando and almost took Tim Duncan. So it's not like it's never been done.
Yeah, but it was different.
No, but it's not like it's never been done.
LeBron has shown players they've gotten a lot more, taking their destiny into their own hands.
I'm just saying it's not like it's never been done before.
But why you kill LeBron then?
I'm just saying no.
Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady just were free agents
when those two guys went, he wasn't the best player on the planet. Neither one of them were.
But they were. Grant was up there.
No, and they weren't. Grant was hurt. He went to Orlando hurt.
Before that, it was an ankle injury. At that point, we just thought it was a little
nobody
ankle
looked at Orlando, even when those two guys went and go, they're going to win the championship the next 10 years. Nobody. It was not that.
Don't say other players have done it.
I'm saying that players have done that before.
But no players have not done it. Like LeBron has changed the players taking their destiny to their own hands.
LeBron is trying.
Free agents or not.
LeBron's trying to. Although
he has done. You got to give him that.
All he's ever done is try to stack his own team. Let's do Ron in Texas. Ron, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Thanks, Ron.
Hey, what's good, fellas?
How you,
man?
Multiple time caller. Love the show.
Where are you in Texas?
I'm in West Texas, man. Close to Abilene.
What's the name of your town?
Abilene Christian University.
Okay.
What's the name of your town?
Oh, Abilene.
It must be tiny. Oh, you said close to Abilene.
I'm from the Bronx. Y'all talked to me before, though.
We did talk to you. Yep, I do know that. The Bronx. I got you.
Yes,
right,
sir.
You mean the boogie down?
I have 2 points for y'all. First for Rob. No way, no how Kawhi topped LeBron because he got the leftovers with Paul George. They fleeced OKC for all of their picks. And the only reason Paul George forced his way out because he was going to get traded to Toronto for Pascal, and they couldn't come up with the picks to send him there. So he got the leftovers. Another thing
it remains to be seen. We'll see.
I don't know about
we're gonna
see which team wins.
I don't know about leftovers.
Yeah, we're going to see how it play out. But I got one more thing for y'all. Y'all just remember this. LeBron is being added to that Pelicans team, basically, that swept Portland, with Anthony Davis, Rondo, and Drew Holiday. You insert Kuzma, you bring Cousins back, and you got LeBron with that same team that swept Portland.
Only thing, Ron, is LeBron is
what they do in the next round.
They got some.
But they got LeBron and Kuzma now.
But LeBron is 17th year coming up, a little long in the tooth. We'll see.
And Boogie wasn't there either.
And
Boogie was hurt. But no, I feel you. I mean, look, I like the Lakers.
Hey, Ron.
I think it's very close between them and the Clippers.
Ron, is he gone? Is he there?
I'm still here.
All right. You want to get a wing bet? I'm saying Clippers going to be better than the Lakers.
We could do 50 wings.
Let's do it, my man. Remember this. Chris,
we
you
could
heard
do
this.
50
All right,
wings,
50
Rob.
wings. Let's go to Brian in San Diego. Brian, you're on with Chris and Rob.
What's going on, guys?
What's happening?
How you?
I'm good. I love you guys. Listen to you every day on my way home from work. But
appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Just want to let you know, I think it's more of guys that are the big names of the league
don't want to team up with LeBron. They want to beat LeBron. I think that Chris, you said it on multiple occasions. All the journeyman players and the grizzled veterans, they'll go along for the ring chase and all that kind of stuff. But I think the young and upcoming guys like the Jimmy Butlers and everybody, they want their own flavor and they want to beat LeBron. They don't want to help LeBron get ahead. The same thing you said about with KD.
Nah, I like that. I agree. I mean, and that's how I'd prefer they think. And now, look, they're thinking that way, and look at what we have. Well, I forgot when I was mentioning dynamic duos. How about KD and Kyrie? It's just ridiculous. All right, good call, Brian. Will Westbrook put Houston back on the map or bring them down in flames? Rockets writer for The Athletic, Kelly Iko. You can follow him on Twitter at Kelly Iko. That's IKONBA. Kelly, how are you?
Kelly, what's up, bud?
What's going on, man?
We're great, brother. Welcome to the Odd Couple.
Hey, about time.
I know. And in a big way. So what's the reaction down in Houston? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a bit of a shell shock, honestly, from last night. Just kind of the way the news hit the Twitter sphere. And I was texting a couple of players, and they were just so surprised, so shocked. Even if you go around the barbershops, you go around the store, you hear people talking about, man, Chris Paul is really gone, and they're about to get Westbrook, and it's just crazy to think about. You know, if you go back to how Chris Paul even arrived in Houston, they had the whole fanfare. You know, they had the whole Chris Paul day, and just for it to end the way it did, and to be bringing in a guy that's really close to James Harden is really surprising and really shocking around the city.
Kelly, we've heard a lot about how close Westbrook and Harden are and how much they wanted this to happen. Some people think that's a reason to think it's going to work. And I know Chris Paul and Harden weren't as close as these two are at any point. But when Chris first went there, what was the relationship like between he and Harden?
I mean, it was good. It was good. You know, both guys wanted to win. You know, they're at a point of their careers where, you know, their personal accolades have reached a certain point where everyone knows, okay, you're going to be a Hall of Famer, but are you going to get that piece of silverware that's been eluding your whole career? So they hit the ground running. Everyone talked over the summer how it wouldn't work because there was going to be one basketball and all that, and they shut all that stuff up. They had the best record in the NBA, and, you know, everyone says it all the time, but it really did come down to, you know, the hamstring and the game 6 and 7, and that team could have gone to the finals and could have actually won it. And even going back to this past season, you know, you could make the argument that had things gone a different way, they should have beaten the Warriors game 6 at home. They could have won that game 7 and possibly beat the Blazers. So, I mean, I don't know.
You think it was a good trade?
Do I think it was a good trade?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't call it a big risk as much as a recalibration, because you think about it like this. Chris Paul is 34. You get somebody in Russ who's on the same timeline as James Harden. You know, they're both around their primes. They both have their similar contracts, like the years and stuff. And it's a swing, but it's not a big swing. So we'll have to see what kind of things they add around it and how the rest of the NBA shakes out to see if it was a good move or not. But it's a move for sure.
The Odd Couple joined by Rockets beat writer Kelly Iko of The Athletic.
So Kelly, help me out. Vinny Goodwill from Yahoo Sports came out, had a story about those two, Chris Paul and James Harden, having some issues and basically, you know, saying one of these guys got to go. Whoever said it, I don't know if it was Chris Paul asked for a trade. What was that? Did you hear the same thing? Was a trade request? Because no. Chris Paul put on Twitter, what did he say? That's news to me or something like that. So what did you hear about that whole story?
Yeah, Chris never asked for a trade, but after the season, you know, they talked, and if things were to go in a different direction, you wouldn't have a problem with that, because you know, Chris Paul's been in this league for 15, 16 years. He's a consummate professional, and he understands the nature of the game. Now, you know, him and Harden did have arguments during Game 6 or whatever, but those two things are mutually exclusive, because the Rockets actually tried to send Chris to where he would, like, a preferable destination, but it didn't work out, you know. But there is no bad blood between Chris and James. everyone's going to go back to that report. But those two are exclusive. I don't think that had anything to do with, him getting traded. It's just because Russ became available and the Rockets acted quickly. That's what happened.
Let me ask you about Daryl Morey, because
I'm glad you brought him up.
We all know he's the king of analytics and all that.
Yeah, but
he
the moves don't
make so many personnel moves that not only aren't analytically driven, but are the direct opposite of this Westbrook trade can't make sense analytically. Jimmy Butler didn't make sense.
Right.
Heck, let's face it, Chris Paul didn't make sense analytically. Dwight Howard, we could go on and on. What do you make of the way he does? It's just the opposite of his whole theory and, everything he's been about.
He kind of touched on this back in 2017 when they originally got Chris Paul. He said that, sometimes from the outside looking in, his the way he goes after stars might not seem like smart or the right move. Like if you look at their team model and their analytics and everything, and this one also is for sure, a bit puzzling. But their thinking is Russ has never been surrounded with three shooters at the same time. He's never had the floor space like the way he wants it to. Can he succeed in that kind of system and model? And that's kind of what drove them to, go and get that deal done.
That's fair, but where does Harden? I love, Westbrook with the floor spread, high pick and roll in D'Antoni's system. I'm just wondering, with Harden out there, you see Harden, it doesn't look like he's changed his game at all for Chris Paul.
And why would he change it now?
For Russ?
That's a very good point. But I think you have to go less analytics and more personal. Anytime you're trying to build a basketball team, you can't always go 100% analytics.
I agree.
There's going to be a human side, and I think that relationship between Harden and Westbrook will be like, look, if you want me to play more off ball, I'll do it. If you want me to set screens, if you want me to cut, even just space the floor, I'll do it, because at this point, you and I are desperate for a championship. So we've seen it happen with Dwayne Wade and LeBron, where even though Dwayne wasn't the best outside shooter, he was able to change his game to help that team win. So can we see the same from Russ? Can we see the same from James? It's going to be on them more so. Any X's and O's or any schematic change, it's going to be on them first and foremost.
All right, Kelly, great stuff, man. We appreciate the knowledge, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Keep up the great work.
Yep.
Hey, it's The Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob. And we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.
No question about it. And remember, all